Hello traders, how you doing? Just checking if everything is alright. Alright, so today is going to be a quick one. We will just go quickly through the charts, and the point is not to spoon feed you or tell you what to do. I think a lot of you already know it, but to realize how important it is to stick to the plan and trade what is our strategy, right? So here is actually what's going on the dollar index, right? What I'm expecting. That's what we've been talking about the whole week, right? So we have this weekly range, we had this expansion here, right? And then it created that Monday range, right? We can see that the Monday range actually has been possible to trade down, right? If you entered somewhere around midnight, right? Hello, Adrian, which probably just Adrian was able to trade because he is able to trade a lot of time zones due to his location, right? So if you didn't take this short in here and you've been trying to long it in here, you've been in the trap, right? And we can see what's actually happening in here, right? So some of you have been worried, what if the price is going up here, right? Well, and not taking us into the trade, right? Well, it can obviously happen. Price can go up like this without giving us our model number 2, right? If that was case, we would just stay out of the trade, right? That's important, right? And we would trade only if we get here what we are expecting to get, right? So what has happened last week? Look, how they've been building more liquidity down here, right? Now we can see the price is going there, right? So what's probably happening today is probably that most likely some kind of Monday range is being created in here, right? And so what we're gonna have then, we're gonna have, if that will be case, right, which I think is maybe playing out, right? So we're gonna have a weekly range and the Monday range nested in it, right? And all of that is in the another weekly range, right? So from this top range, we having a bias. We're going from this low potentially to this high, right? So then we should be looking only for the long trades, right? Then we have a weekly range, right, in here. And now we have a Monday drop down, right? So here probably will be created this Monday range. And then tomorrow, once this Monday range is manipulated, right, into this key level which we analyzed in here, and we had this rejection here, and also once we go below this liquidity by the transition candle, also we will be between 61.8 and 0.8, then we would be looking for long in here, right? And look how powerful it could be if it all plays out as we want to. We will be able to trade, because right now we're looking for the 4 hours time frame, right? Once the Monday range will be created in here, then we can drop it down to the 1 hour. And we will be trading a change in order flow on this 1 hour range, where we could potentially have a much lower stop loss, right? Because we're gonna have some manipulation below the Monday range probably. Once the price closes inside, right, then we got the change in order flow, the order block, right, with the rejection, right? Then we could be entering with this small stop loss, and we can be targeting 50% of this Monday range, right? Okay, it's an alarm. So the JPY is probably going there also, right? So then we're gonna have, once we get back inside in this weekly range, there will probably be another retest in here, right? So if you still hold in a trade, then you can be targeting Monday range high, 50% of this weekly range, 50% of the big one, right? Or this, or even, I think this could be play, right? This could be in play, right? Because mostly what we're looking for, and we need to understand as a weeks, right? We're looking always for the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So what's going on in here? The month has started in here, right? We had what? We had a, it's Thursday, okay, so it's here, right? So we had accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? Now we're getting a retracement. Hello, my friends. Hello, Riston. I'm not Daniel, but the David. But anyway. And now we have again, right? Look how it looks same in here, right? We got a what? We got a, again, accumulation, right? Now potential manipulation, and there will be again a distribution, right? And if you remember, I've been saying in the Discord that most likely it's because we're gonna have this, we have the COT data, we have all of these things, but also what's supporting this is the seasonals, right? Where we have a strong May for the dollar, right? So if we are getting this correction right now, and for the rest of the month the dollar will be strong, then this has a quite huge potential, because we are right now where? We are in the 19th, so we are here, right? So imagine we're gonna have a manipulation tomorrow, right, below the Monday range, and then we have all of this, right? Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And then another week expansion, right? So that's what I think if I'm putting it into the context with the time also, right? So yeah, that's what I'm looking for on the dollar. And what was important about this is to say that you should always stick to the strategy, which is, as you know, for now, because we have already the model number 1 played in here into the 50%, and then you have model number 2 in a 61.8, right, in here, and then you're targeting the whole range, right? This is what we have seen playing many times, right? So that's how you should execute, right? So if you did anything in here, right, thinking we are going up, you simply broke the rules. You didn't stick into the strategy, right? So same thing on the euro, right? We have a big range. This one, this week, right? We had the manipulation price going lower into a 50%, right? Then you're measuring FIB, right? And then here is a model number 2, right? That's what you're looking for, right? So again, where the price actually did go in here, right? Look into the transition candle in here, right? That's where we closed our longs, right? Now the price is doing what? We had a previous week range. That's fine, Riston. Right? So we have the range in here, and now we potentially get again some kind of a range, and it could be a daily range, right, or the 4 hours range, right? And again, you could be framing your entry from these smaller ranges in the trend of this higher time frame range, right? And also above this range, right? So what it actually would be, right? So look, you got a model number 1 to the 50%. Here is a model number 2, right? And this is your target. But in the perspective of this previous week's range and this daily range, it actually would be model number 1, right? So it gives you a more confluences that it could all play out, right? And how it could be, right? This is just a not prediction, but let's say projection, right? Potential projection, right? So we could go higher, potentially above this candle, right? Potentially. I do think that it would be maybe possible, right? So price could go higher in here, right? It can do a manipulation, right? Into a 50% of this daily range, right? Then it gives you a pullback, and there are also again, you scaling down, right? You actually now playing on the 1 hour, and you're looking for what? Sorry. Good morning, Simon. And then you actually playing in this smaller range. You actually looking for a model number 2 in here, right? So you got a 50% reached in here, and model number 2 in here. You will have a entry, right? Something like that. So you will have actually a model number 2. You will have actually model number 2 from the higher time frame perspective and also lower time frame, right? So it will give you an opportunity to enter with quite small stop loss, right? And you could be targeting all of this, right? Why I'm not gonna target just like this, but this, right? Let's look. Let's go back to the daily in here. You see how this candle has closed, right? Its low wasn't taken, right? So the liquidity on this high time frame perspective is still in here, right? So that's why I think this low is going to be taken in here, right? If you remember from the presentations, simply that's where is the liquidity right now, right? So that's why I do think this all could play out in here, right? Now, famous GBP, right? I basically closed it. I closed it this morning, even earlier, with a decent loss, right? Because I saw that the DXY is dropping, Euro is dropping, right? Euro is going up, right? So I exited somewhere around here, right? So I got lost on this one, and no big deal, right? This I should put into the journal, because yes, it all looks like a model number one, now model number two, but overall, if you look at it, it's an ugly price action, right? And if you look into the weekly, there was like a close above the range, close inside, close above the range, close inside, right? With the big wick, right? Really unclear, right? So what to do? Yes, made mistakes, made loss. Now I need to put it into the journal, right? And remember it for the next time. If the price action is not clear, if it's not like really clear like here, right? Or like here, where we're getting this beautiful price action, but not this ugly thing in here, right? We should not be trading, right? That same reason, as last time someone asked me, Aussie USD, right? Look, I wasn't trading Aussie USD because it's ugly in here. It wasn't anything, right? But I let myself influence a little bit in here on the GBP, right? So anyway, mistakes are happening, and we will still will be doing them, right? Now let's go USD JPY, right? You see same thing, right? Here, actually already that weekly range has played, right? The big one in here. It's already done, this weekly range in here, right? So we had the trade in here on the lower time frame, right? Was playing here, model number one, model number two. Now, I still do think we're going higher, right? Why? Why I'm going to play this weekly range again, right? Because of the confluence with the dollar, first of all. And second thing, if we look to the weekly, in here, right? Look where the price is most likely going, right? Probably above these two highs into the discount, right? You should not be shorting in here on the higher time frame, because we're most likely going above this transition candle, right? That would be a target. So trading this range low, this weekly range low in here, if we get that manipulation in here, trying to catch the trade to the top, right? This is obviously not a definitive stop loss, right? You should not be placing a buy limit like this. You can do that this way. I've been doing this in the past with quite big stop losses, and I've been successful. Those who remember me from 2018-19, that's how I was trading, right? But you need to, on this weekly, from the weekly, once this happens, you drop to the 4 hours, right? And in this level, you don't know where you get the reaction, right? How deep it will go. It can react in here, or it can go lower in here. But once you get on the 4 hours, the change in order flow, right? And that's when you start to looking for a model number one, and you can use a smaller, tighter stop loss, right? Because it should be safe in there, right? And to targeting 50% or the full range, right? In this case, I will be looking for a full ranges, right? Also on the euro, and also on the dollar index. I'm actually trading dollar index also, right? Why? Why I will be looking for the full ranges? Because look, we've been ranging for the whole week, right? So we've been ranging in here. After the range comes what? Expansion, right? Expansion. It would be a hard expansion. It would not be probably just a expansion like this, right? Manipulation and then back to the range, right? No. It will be manipulation and most likely strong expansion, right? You can see that in here also. Look. You have consolidation, right? Manipulation, expansion, right? And in here you can see exactly what has happened for those who've been impatient, right? And they've been actually right? So you can see it has break these highs in here, right? What they've been doing here. Those who bought in here, they have stop losses down here, right? So we're gonna be buying from them. These who bought here, they will be forced to sell to us, right? So it's important. The point of this video is to stick to the strategy, right? And not taking a trade in here because you're seeing that it's making here. It was actually break, right? Here. It was actually another break, right? And here was the break, right? We've been in a trade from here, right? So look, it was one break, second break, third break, right? That's gonna be a lot of liquidity down here for us, right? So all of these things, these patterns, good, but needs to be in the correct market context. Good morning, Michal. Right? Now let's look to the crypto. And it's the same thing. If you remember from last week, I said if you have this range, you should not be trading where. You should not be buying on the top. You should not be buying on the middle, right? And you should not be selling here or selling here, right? You should be waiting, right? So now here is what's playing, right? Look what they did. They created probably, look, it's another two equal highs, right? So they made this false break. And those who've been excited yesterday about this pump, right, now they did what? The price broke up, right? First traders entering longs, right? Then retracement traders entering longs, and then what? Breakout traders, another traders entering long, right? Where all of these people gonna have stop losses? Where will be liquidity? Well, below here, right? So that's where we're waiting. This is where we're waiting, right? And now it's coming into confluence with this USDT dominance. I'm sorry for the noise from the outside. Since I decided to start the streams, there was a big machines come below my flat and they start digging here. I don't know what they're going to fix or whatever, right? So look here. What we got here? We have the USDT dominance, right? And in here, the highs was taken, right? Then the price start to drop lower, right? Model number one below, let's say it would be here, right? Once the candle closed below this one, right? Back inside in here, so it would be model number one into a 50%. Actually in here, look, transition candle, you remember? This candle was taking us from the discount to the premium, right? Liquidity below it, look where the price started to consolidate, right? And that's where the Bitcoin has stopped, right? Right now, at this moment, and remember this, always when you have the range playing, around a 50%, once it reaches a 50%, there is mostly a stop hunt, right? And it can be stop hunt by creating the range, manipulating it, right? Or it can be a stop hunt that the price has came down here and it makes a retracement and continues lower, right? At this moment, for me, it looks like they're doing this, right? Some range, and then they will at least retrace a bit higher into this fair value gap, right? Or maybe into this order block, and that's when the Bitcoin uptrend will start, right? Because they will do what? They will do this, and then they will continue down, right? Because this monthly range is playing, right? So what's gonna happen if we put it into the context? What's gonna happen on the Bitcoin, right? You see, right? Most likely we will see this down and continuation up, right? And then we can, as it is all the markets, it's one thing, let's say, it has a lot of correlations, right? So then we can put all the things into the context, right? So here we have this SUI, right? You remember, again, we have all of these drawings, same, always applying the same concept, right? We have expansion. We're looking for a transition candle. We're looking for a pullback 61.8, 0.8. There we're finding a level, right? These down candles, right, in here, right? That's where we do trade, right? Again, look, those who've been excited yesterday, which was in here, right? Like this. Look, it looks like, oh my god, that's pump, right? Pumping, pumping, let's jump into it, right? And then what? Then this, right? Then they are in this trade, they are not happy, where they have stop losses down here, right? Maybe someone trying to hide it a little bit lower, right? But they will, the market will take care about them, right? They will take it down here, right? That's where we wait, right? So you should have also alarm in here on the SUI, right? You don't need to watch it all the time. That's SUI, right? Solana, same thing, look, already going down, right? I need to update my drawings in here, but look, right? Manipulated range, price starts to go higher, right? Maybe it can drop even lower in here. I don't know, right? I am currently in here in the research because it's probably the first these big ranges I'm trying to play on this one, right? However, at least down here, I think we will go, right? Because of the Bitcoin and these things, right? Here is a Doge, right? Look, same thing. We have a manipulation of this big range, right? Price reached 50%, right? That's why you always need to take a profit in here when you're trading these big ranges, right? Hello, Ahmed. Hello, gaming, my friend. So, what we're looking for the transition candle, right? And price going lower, right? Those who entered this breakout, they are not happy right now, right? What can happen? Obviously, price can go up, right? From the higher, price can go up. It doesn't have to go down here, but we're looking for the highest probabilities, right? So we will be looking for the move down, right? And then it's same, right? If you look other pairs on the crypto, this is a link, right? Looking for the pullback down here, right? Here is the Ethereum. No, Ethereum, I don't have a clear vision in here. I think it will drop even lower, right? It will drop even lower. This is Aave in here. I think I need to fix this level, right? I need to spend more time in these, right? But the thing is, look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, approximately 10 pairs. Hello, Riyad, my friend. I have approximately 10 coins in here, right? It doesn't mean I will trade all of them, right? Look, for example, here, the Aave looks not too clear, looks ugly, right? But if I look, for example, the H bar, this one looks nice, right, to me. This looks like a nice price action, right? Because I have the manipulation in here, we have reached 50%, and I have, again, a weekly range established, right? Then below that weekly range, I am able to find a clear level, which is also in the model 2 zone between 61.8 and 0.8, right? So in here, I can build some narrative, some scenario, something I would like to trade, right? I can do that in here, right? So why would I force it? Why would I force it in here, right? When I don't have a level, clear level, right? Maybe the clear level for me is down here, right? Will it go so low? Maybe not, right? But I will not be forcing myself to try do everything in here when I have here at least Bitcoin. SUI looks good, right? Solana needs to be updated, but in my opinion, maybe we are creating a range in here, right? Just quick look in here, right? Maybe we're creating the range in here, right? Maybe it needs to go a little bit lower, right? At this moment, I'll be honest, I'm not sure because the loss wasn't taken in here. Maybe we can calculate this. I'm not sure if I should measure it from here or from here, right? Maybe from here it is right, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna simply wait, right? How it's gonna be playing in here, what's gonna be in that moment when this starts somehow printing some setup, what's gonna be doing the Bitcoin if the also USDT will be on the key level. If yes, if all of this is true, right, then on the Solana, I could actually count with this as a rejections in here, right? And I can measure my dealing range from this low to this high, right? I can also look for the transition candle on the lower time frame, which would be, all right, in this case, right, maybe it would be this one. But what I'm gonna do, because 61.8 starts here, I'm gonna take this candle, right? So using the common sense, like that, right? And then the picture already starts to, showing me, right, where I would like to be, right? So we got a level, potential level in here, right? We got a transition candle, we got 61.8 FIP, right? So maybe something like this could be playing for me in here, right? With confluence of the Bitcoin, right? And that's actually good day, Franklin. Right, so that's actually what I got in my plan for this week, right? So we have the main focus would be for me this, right? Because we can see it's going sharp there, right? So it has been accumulation. Now we got a sharp move up, right? So what they did, they trapped the people into the trade on the Friday, right? Those who've been actually right about the price going lower, but didn't enter correctly, right? Now these people who entered on the Friday have been happy, like I've been happy on the GBP that it's going lower. They are now, they don't have now very nice morning, right? So price is going against them, and in there we will be looking for that, right? And same for all the things. We actually still do the completely same things day by day, my friends, right? So I will close it in here. It's gonna be a quick one because today I'm flying to Spain for a few days to relax myself a little bit. But I will be, of course, watching the chart because I wanna catch these trades, right? I think it's a high probability that they are going to play, right? GBP is the one which didn't work in here, right? So what I'm gonna do right now, probably I will not be forcing that, right? Because why? I have DXY, I have Euro USD, I have USD JPY, right? These three are clear, right? And the market giving me the clear setups. Basically, I'm feeling confident in here, right? Of course, that most likely GBP, if the dollar index start to getting stronger, of course the GBP will probably go with them. But here is not, see, it's ugly, this thing, right? I let myself to put into simply I maybe shouldn't trade it, right? Or did the mistake. I need to reanalyze that why and what, right? And I know it already, I mentioned that, right? So I don't need to take this trade because the other ones are already playing, right? You don't need to have everything. With the USD JPY, well positioned, Euro USD, well positioned, dollar index, right? And then you have many options on the crypto which are coming, right? It's enough for me, right? I understand some of you watching the cross pairs. I'm not watching them currently because these things are enough for me, right? So that's my trading plan for this week. That's what I'm gonna be looking for. I wish you good luck, my friends. I will not sure if I will do the streams for the rest of the week. But it would be great if you let me know in our Discord how did you execute these things and how it's going for you. Take care, my friends, and good luck.